why the gap? Why has it been so long since we put out a video? I guess we just kind of felt a lack of purpose as to why we were making these videos and what the heck we were doing. I mean, we spend a lot of time editing them and filming them, and we just didn't really know why we were doing it. But I think over this summer we had a little bit of soul searching, at least I did for sure, and we realized why we want to make these videos. And for me, there's two reasons. One, I have a 2.5-year-old son that I've never been able to meet. That's not my choice. I'm in the process of going through the necessary legal action to be in his life, but until then, each day that goes by is a day that I don't get to know Wyatt, and I'd really like for him to be able to see what his dad's been up to before we get to meet. More than anything, I want to share this life with him. Through these videos, I want Wyatt to know the places I traveled and the people I met before we knew each other, as if he were there with me. It might be quite a while before I'm lucky enough to take my son exploring with me, and the sad truth is, I might not ever get to. I've done what I can and must wait for the courts to decide. For now, I must capture moments for Wyatt before they're lost forever. Let's start where we left off last, when our sailing season came to an end last May, and we traveled north looking for jobs. We found employment working as audio-visual technicians in Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah. This summer, we operated cameras, ran sound and lights, built stages, and prepared concert equipment for members of Guns N' Roses, the Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Brandy Carlisle, Thunder Pussy, the Steve Miller Band, B-52s, Marilyn Manson, Charlie Daniels Band, Cheap Trick, Zakk Wylde, The Offspring, Dustin Lynch, Travis Tritt, David Lee Murphy, the Jim Blossoms, Talk, just to name a few. It was Amanda's first real season working in the audio industry. For me, I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and this is my 6th year working the summer festival season. I know it's no surprise to anyone who knows her, but Amanda absolutely kicked butt this summer. She instantly grasped all aspects of production, and by the end of the season, you wouldn't know that she wasn't a seasoned veteran.
I'm getting ready to go on stage and perform. It's my big debut.
We worked incredibly long and hard hours this summer to be able to afford to go sailing again this season. A couple times we pointed our cameras at rodeos and sporting events. It was a pretty interesting opportunity, not at all what I expected when we left the sailboat, but I remain grateful for the work nevertheless. Not just monetarily speaking, Amanda and I both gained a lot this summer. As our tiny little land home bumped up and down dusty roads, we forged new friendships at each show we worked. And a few of those friends have even decided to join the Rite of Passage crew. I love them already, and I'm sure you will too. 12 and a half, a couple waterfalls.
Class 35.
Class 35. Class 8.5 around.
I have to remind myself that we're really lucky to be able to live in this van. We're really lucky to be traveling in this beautiful place, and we're really lucky to have the jobs that we have, getting to play with these awesome audio toys and earning money to be able to go sailing again this year. We put a ton of miles on the van this summer, and we spent a little bit more money than we should have. With that being said, I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. There's so much to learn in that part of the country, wandering around aimlessly. Sometimes when I read the news about people cracking down on tiny houses and cracking down and regulating how people can and can't live, it really gets me down, and it kind of makes me sad for America and for the freedoms that we once had. But then when I run across places like this, here on the side of the mountain, where there's just free spring water, it makes me remember that America wasn't always like the way it is today. It used to be the place to go when you wanted no one to tell you what to do or how to live. And that was American, and that was patriotic. I'm not gonna lie, it feels really wasteful just walking away and not being able to shut it off. But it's a mountain spring, so you don't shut it off. Water. How I've learned to cherish water over the years, even though it's something I once took for granted. I've learned how important it is to uncomplicate life and to play like a child. Pure joy is born on a basic level, and traveling to other countries helps me remember this. When I travel, I see how similar we all actually are, even though we appear to be worlds apart. In our own backyards, families spend time with each other, much in the same way as they do in places far away. No matter where you go in the world, we all dance. We smile from the same place in our hearts. We feel love as absolute truth, as if it were a language that we all can understand. I'm creating these videos because we're all the same, even though we see ourselves as so different. Being on this boat, traveling with all these people, it's my rite of passage, and I hope that it inspires you to close the gap between us and them.